There you go. Got a little San
Go for it,
Diego
brother.
Padres, a little San Diego hat on. Should I wear it like that?
Do you remember people used to wear their hat like a little bit to the side?
Like a little like that? Yeah.
Why do we ever do that?
I don't know, man. You know, I mean, works out nice.
Episode 656 of Lucas Tigers and Bronzo Mai, the only sports card podcast bringing you guys daily content. You, a lot of you guys call us the sports card radio station of the hobby, and that's both humbling, flattering. We appreciate it. We love all you guys. Thank you for all your support.
Dude, let's take a pause. You found the place to get your hair cut in Florida. You're looking sharp, dude.
You like the cut?
Yeah, man. I like your cut, G.
You call me G?
I like your cut, G. Smack you on the head.
A lot of Portuguese vibes down here. It's a Portuguese barbershop.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Portuguese muffin. Very underrated muffin. There were English muffins. Portuguese muffin. It's kind of like an English muffin, but only better. Portuguese make good muffin. Put a burger on a Portuguese muffin. Good stuff.
Serious?
Oh, yeah. I'm being serious. Portuguese muffins.
No, it's been a good day. It's been a productive day. I'll leave it at that.
There you go. How about some port wine? Port wine's a good time. That's good from Portugal. A little Portuguese sausage, like a Portuguese chorizo with a little port wine. That's some good stuff, man.
Has the robot have you been like hijacked? Like
port wine, cheese. I'm trying to think of everything I know about Portugal. There's a soccer player from Portugal who's supposed to be pretty good.
Portugal is doing 0% taxes for crypto entrepreneurs.
It's like the crypto capital of the world now. That too, and Ronaldo. Right?
Thiago is actually the guy. If you guys watched the Liverpool game versus Man U this week, Thiago, he looked good. He's like a defensive mid. You know
who looked good in that game? Mo Salah. He looked really good.
Thiago Spanish? Maybe Thiago
Mo Salah. Dude went off in that game.
Is that right? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the games, bro. Yeah,
not a huge Mo Salah fan. He gets his chances, but he's not a huge Mo Salah fan. I'll put it out there.
I'm pretty sure he had 2 goals. Pretty sure you could check the box. I watched the games.
Goals.
You check the box scores. That's how this works in soccer. Basketball different. I mean, soccer I watch the games. No, our good friend LAFC Gooner, he messages me every once in a while and tells me which games I have to watch. He's trying to get me to be a soccer fan. So he'll be like, this is a game. If you're going to watch a game, watch this game and watch this guy and watch this. So I try to every now and again. You know what I mean? I try to watch
was one of the games he messaged you about was Liverpool City?
Liverpool against Man City. Hold I did not. I taped that. I DVR'd it. I didn't watch the whole thing. But Liverpool looks good. Yeah, it's fun, man. Plus, I like liver. So I might become a fan of them.
Russian families actually do eat liver and cow tongue?
Yeah.
And they like, so another thing that they eat is this like it's like jello, but not sweet jello. It's bone broth.
Yeah, like fat. Aspic is what the Polish call it, I think.
These are real meals that like were on our table. I'm proud to say I've never tried any of those 3 because from a young kid, I had a radar to say that is gross.
Not the tongue. You don't want to eat cow tongue? You don't want something to lick you back while you're eating it? It could taste you while you're tasting it?
This is the best. This is what my dad says. Like, we're gaining weight. We need to, our portions are too big here in America. It's something in the food. I'm like, bro, it is the food.
Do you call your dad bro?
Literally,
that's weird.
Huh?
Do you call your dad bro? That's kind of weird.
When he's not, no, normally no. But when he's like on that, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? You're eating liver, cow tongue, and chicken fat. What do you don't even, they don't even put greens in their salad. Their salads are tomatoes and cucumbers, no lettuce. Or their salads are mayo based.
It's like a Greek salad. It's like Olivier salad. You know, a little Olivier salad, right?
My mom packed that for my drive down.
I know a little something. Listen, you take me to the banya. I order some Olivier salad. I order some pelmeni, Moscow style. Put the cheese over the top of it. I'll burn my tongue on it. I know how to order in a banya. I bring my own birch leaves and everything.
The science is definitive. Saunas are easiest and best thing you could do for your health. 4 days a week, 20 minutes, 100.
I don't know. That sounds like junk science to me. Clearly, eating Chick-fil-A at least twice a week keeps the doctor away. I'm going to put that above the Banya, but not by a lot. I'll put the Banya a close second. Chick-fil-A, then Banya. You sweat out the spices.
Literally love the Banya.
Somebody told me this week that the Popeyes chicken sandwich gives Chick-fil-A a run for the money, so I had a Popeyes chicken sandwich. I couldn't get home fast enough to reheat my Chick-fil-A and eat that instead. It's not even close.
It tastes cheap.
Not even close. Not even close.
So, someone, while we're on the subject, someone who just really changed their reputation.
Oh.
And I look for angles like this.
Ooh.
So picture this.
I'm picturing it.
Ben Simmons comes back.
Mm-hmm.
He's the deciding factor.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, he's the glue, the piece that the Nets need to get over the Celtics. And then the next round, Nets play Sixers. What do you think? That's not the case?
I think they would play the Sixers in the finals if they both make it there. Because I think the Nets advance, they play the Bucks, assuming the Bucks advance. It'd be 7-2, right? I mean, no, it would be.
You're right. 2-3 is the
2-3, right? Yeah.
So even that hypothetical, I don't think is going to happen. But you and Manny, you guys hop on and you guys do an overreaction show.
Yeah.
What were your overreactions today, other than the Pelicans are going to win?
Embiid's going to win the whole thing. Embiid's the winner. Embiid's winning it all. I wanted to be on the group text. We have a group text. I want to be on the group text with like Harden and Ben Simmons and Kyrie and it's like Harden. You're like, guys, what are you doing? Like, it's not hard to get out of the first round. I've won 3 games and you guys got rid of me. Like, what the hell? What are you doing? You got, hey, look at me. I'm Sandra Day. It was that kind of stuff. But honestly, a non-overreaction, Ben Simmons should play. I don't care if his back is broken. It is the perfect situation for him to come back because there's no downside. There's only upside. Think about it for a second. This is why you're smart, right? People have been asking me, is Andrew smart? People ask me all the time, is Andrew smart? I usually say no, but here, I'm going to give you some, right? Because you're right. Only upside. Because Simmons comes back and wins. Holy cow. They won because of Simmons, not because they have Kyrie and KD who have both won championships already. It's Simmons. If they lose, well, they were already losing. They're already getting beat. They're down 2-0. They're probably going to lose the series anyway. It's not they're losing because of him. It is a perfect situation. You couldn't write it better if you were Ben Simmons, his agent, his mom, his Uncle Larry, whoever it is in Simmons' camp. This is what they put him back in. Put him back in right now. Because you can't lose. I'm with you. Andrew, shut the episode off. You're not going to get a better take in the next 40 minutes than that. Because you're right. 100%. I like to argue with you, but I can't right here. Bring Simmons back. Now, the question becomes, when he comes back, does it matter? Because he's not even the biggest person coming back into this series in Game 3. Allegedly, Mr. Williams is coming back to clog up the inside and block 7 or 8 shots in Game 3. We'll see. It's day to day.
I saw a tweet. It was like, watching this Celtics defense swarm gives me a lot of appreciation for 2018 LeBron. I don't know if you saw that one. Because LeBron faced the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Tatum, and Brown. But I'll tell you, man, I know you're not a huge Tatum guy, but he's sort of turned a corner.
We talked about Tatum.
Not? Huh?
No hobby love. We talked about Tatum on our overreaction show. I just think people hate people from Duke. The hate just hasn't caught up to Zion yet. Everybody else, there's no hobby love for anybody.
No one knows him from Duke. No, everyone knows him from Boston.
I mean, give me somebody from Duke that the hobby loves. Kyrie.
Is Tatum not the? I mean, Morant, Zion, Luka, Trey.
Mm-hmm.
That young crop of talent. Tatum is the cheapest in their value. Maybe Zion's cheaper now that he's been injured, but is Tatum not the best buy out of all of those long term? No. He's going to be in Boston for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's built to really sustain a long career in the hobby. He's arguably the best player right now, and he's only getting better.
You'd say the lowest ceiling of those guys.
Wow. No way.
Yeah. Yeah, from a hobby.
I
perspective.
don't think that's
now,
a fair statement.
We're gonna get into we'll get into the Giannis thing again, right? Because the narratives have already been written about him, right? You know, Luka. The narrative on Luka is he needs a number 2. Somebody to help him, but whoever they bring in is going to be a clear-cut number 2 for him. It's going to be a clear-cut, whoever it is, whether it's Brunson or whether it's, Manny thinks they're going to bring in Joker next year. Talk about an overreaction, right? But so right?
How is that even going to work?
I just
it's the semi-pro.
Just go with it. just go with it. It's fantasy leagues. So because they're going to trade, there's going to be like a couple owners make a trade in the fantasy NBA. So anyway. You never hear about anybody else when it comes to Ja, right? Desmond Bane's awesome. Jaren Jackson Jr. is awesome, right? But it's Ja's team, right? It's Ja's team. They won, and people were in my DMs. Ha ha ha! Ja is awesome, and I'm like 5 for 18. Did you watch our game, bro? No,
I would say they won despite Ja.
They won despite Ja, but it's Ja's team. It's still Ja yelling. It's still Ja who's the face of it. The problem with Tatum is that for the last 2 years, you've heard that there are 2 Tatums on the team. You've heard that Jaylen Brown is just as good. You've even heard people say he's better and mean it. Not like, oh, Chris Middleton's the real alpha on the Bucks. That was just baloney talking stuff, right? This is like a legit, he could be better. You don't hear that with those other guys. That's the ceiling you talk about. If you are not even the alpha on your team, or there can be an argument made that somebody else can do what you're doing just as well, and that there's even talk of
even the conversation.
Yeah, which one should be traded? That matters from a hobby perspective. You know what you need? You need everybody on board. You need a conspiracy. You need shillers coming out and pumping up the trade cards. You need people defending Ja Morant, even though he sucked. Even though this is his first time running through the gauntlet that is the playoffs, that exposes a lot of young players. And maybe next year he'll grow from this. Or maybe he'll turn around in game 4 and drop 50. And he'll show everybody, hey, don't count me out. I can play playoff basketball when they're pounded on me too.
Let's talk about that game. What was your impression? So 2 25-point leads. And what was cool about that game is we have a group that we all text with. I think everyone in the group was watching the game and engaged.
It was a fun game to watch. Right? It was a fun game for back and forth. It was a fun game. It was the epitome of the NBA as a game of runs. But the people who had the most fun watching that game are in the Bay Area. The fans of and the players of the Golden State Warriors. Because I don't think they care which one of those 2 teams wins. They know that they can expose both of those teams. And they know that when those 2 teams, because the way they're built, those teams go into cold spells. Now, Minnesota happened to go into a cold spell at the absolute wrong time. I don't know why Karl-Anthony Towns disappeared. Maybe he's not ready for the spotlight. But the dude took like 5 shots all game or something like that, right? And he definitely wasn't there in the fourth quarter. He started shooting too late, right?
He had 5 fouls, but yeah.
I mean, and bullshit fouls, and I hate the reffing in the game, but it is what it is. It worked to both sides. So I'm not a fan of either of those teams, so I'm not making an excuse for it. But the reffing was a little ridiculous in the game. You had guys with like 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game. Ja had to play with 2 fouls for like the whole first quarter. Anyway, it's the point that I'm making is if you let Golden State get up on you, which will happen against both of those teams, Golden State will not let you get back in the game. They don't play the same type of basketball as these teams, taking stupid shots, Trae Young logo early in the shot clock. They set up plays. They get the most out of every possession. These teams did not do that. And you know what it is? It's the way they're made up. Both of them are like this. Desmond Bane will chuck up a 3-pointer, and he's good. Second best 3-point shooter in the league behind Luke Kennard. So it's okay to let him shoot the ball. Thank you for giving me that stat, my friend. I get to sound smart. So it's a good shot. But is it a great shot when you're in the corner and there's 18 seconds left on the shot clock and you're being double teamed? No. Both of these teams. Pat Bev took some of the worst shots. Yeah, he was on fire in the first 8 minutes of the game. But for the rest of the game, he was cold as ice. Stop shooting. No. Just keep chucking it up. 18 seconds left of shot clock. Throw up a 3. Brick it. Let teams come back, right? And play no defense at all. Golden State's going to eat both those teams alive. It doesn't really matter which one of them comes out. That's what I took from last night's game. Tell me I'm wrong.
Dude, you watched the games.
I did. Because the Yankees had a day game yesterday.
Said, all of what you said, you can't really capture on a box score, right?
Yep.
Like, the word that came to mind, maybe it's experience, right? Running a team offense, sustained energy, right? Like, these games are long, man.
You know what both those teams are also missing?
What's that?
An experienced coach. I don't even know the names of either of their coaches, but I look at them, I don't know who they were, and how Minnesota allows a 21-point run against them without a timeout being called.
In the third quarter,
idea.
right?
Third into the fourth, basically. Like, it was a huge run. 21 straight points. How you allow that?
I think the scariest part of the run was when it was like they were down 7 and then up 5.
Yep,
the Grizz.
Quick.
Right? That because it wasn't like 21 down to 0. It was 21 down to 7, and then it hovered at 7 for a second. I think there was a few missed possessions. And then it went like 7-5. That's where like you flipping the score I agree with you. I was surprised how quick that happened.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the coach has to be on the ball there. You know, and it's not like he's got a floor general out there who's won rings. It's not like he's got Chris Paul out there who knows how to slow it down, knows how to use the clock, knows how to get in there and draw a foul so that he can get to the free throw line and slow these guys down and give his team a breather on defense. He's got nobody with any experience out there. You have to do that yourself. You have to call the timeout. You have to slow the momentum of the Grizzlies down. You saw it was happening. It was a freaking avalanche.
So, I mean, I want to talk about Curry because, dude, they seem poised to at least get to the finals now with the injuries, right?
Dude, I didn't love Curry. I mean, Curry's an all-timer. But did you see that it was towards the end of the game, I guess, Gary Payton, the second glove, he gave Joker a little pat on the ass?
Yeah.
Right? And Joker, of course, is like, he went after him. And Curry is like, oh, slow your roll, big man. You know, and he, like, stopped him. I don't know if Joker's a puss or, you know, what the story is.
Dude,
there,
people respect Curry. And I like the new commercials of him that he doesn't take himself so seriously.
Yeah, the Subway ones.
Yeah, Subway, and I think that. But anyway, the one with
the car
Shaq,
car match.
He's in
a lot of commercials.
He's in a lot of commercials. But dude, if he wins a 4th ring here, right? And I talked about this last year in the season preview. Is he not in the discussion as LeBron? Like LeBron has 4 rings, Curry has 4 rings. Are they not? Are we not talking about Curry as a top 5 player of all time?
Not top 5, but close.
Okay. Second question.
4 is big, but you know who it hurts? Believe it or not, I think. You know who it hurts?
Durant.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, everyone knows how good that team really was without Durant. Durant was just so good that he put them over the top.
It's just another example of it. You know what I mean? It's just another example of, you know, Durant couldn't win before when he had Westbrook, Harden, and him all on a team. He had a quote-unquote super team. I know they were young. It's a different story. He had to go join to win. Then he came and tried to do the GMing thing like LeBron did. And, you know, he brought his team together, you know, and they're not winning, you know. So, yes, I think it helps Curry, obviously, if he wins the title. The thing is, Curry's cards are already so friggin' high as it is.
Yeah, but, dude, he's so accomplished.
Kids love Curry. You know, what I will give you on it, whether he wins a championship or not, is he has cemented his legacy in the game. I watch my son play basketball with the kid down the block who's a little older than him, which is great because it teaches my son, you know, how to shoot over bigger guys and that kind of stuff, right? Which is, I like that. You know, you're not always going to be the tallest one out there. You got to learn to play against bigger kids. But the bigger kid, when he's shooting, it's like, Curry! You know, and my son is like, he's not yelling LeBron.
Now, I'm not sitting here saying that this is outlandish or, I mean, this is possible. This is highly likely. But is it impossible that he ends his career with 5 championships?
Of course it's possible. Listen, what's funny is when you were talking about this team, you were talking about how Clay's going to come back and they're going to have an inside presence named James Wiseman, who you don't know what you're going to get out of him, but if he's anything, they're doing it without him. You know, next year you get another year under Kuminga. You know Clay will actually have his legs under him for a whole season. Team could win 70 games again. You know, you got Steph, you got Draymond, who is he just abuses everyone. Joker is a foot taller than him. And I'm not saying that Draymond is holding Joker to nothing. If you look at it, Joker's stats are impressive. They are.
He makes them work.
Draymond makes them work. And if you make the only offensive guy on the team work and he scores 30-something, the rest of the team isn't doing anything. You know? And he's also, you know, it's not in the box score, right? Because if you look at the box score, Joker had a great game. But if you watch the last 2 minutes of the game, Joker's winded, right? So you run through. He allows just like I think it was 116, 111 there, right in that. He allows basically an uncontested layup to just go right by him, what you'd call the old Matador Swiss cheese defense. And then on the other end, he can't even get a shot up. That's Draymond. That's Draymond with his elbow in his ribs with no foul call. That's Draymond resting his body against them all game, making him carry him. And Dre's not huge, but he knows how to do it. He knows how to win somebody and get somebody beat down by the end of the game.
He's been doing it.
I mean, I love the Warriors team. The problem I have with the Warriors is my assumption is that they're going to have to play a big in the finals. And if it's Giannis and Middleton's healthy, and that's a big if, right? Because who knows what's going to happen now? Look, the Bulls just beat them. Middleton hurt. You think Giannis is going to score 70 a game for the rest of the – and that may happen. Giannis is in a class by himself. But Giannis will eat all day against the Warriors.
Agreed. And Giannis is just in an insane form. The Bulls win. They've played the Bulls 6 times now. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to just consistently just keep beating up on the same team. With Middleton out, I do think this is a series, but it's a 6-game series at most for me.
21.5. We're not betting. We're not a betting show, but 21.5 is Levine's over-under on points tonight. He goes over. Tonight's Levine's night to show up. Just saying.
I'm not a big believer in Levine. I think he could be better than he is, especially on the defensive end.
Well, he doesn't have to be right now. I mean, they have not clamped down on DeMar DeRozan. They have not clamped down on the rest of the team. Even Patrick Williams is contributing. On that team. It's nice to see him back and healthy. But I think the defense tonight is going to be clamped down on DeMar DeRozan. And I think we're going to see a little Zach LaVine, a little LaVine offense. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. I could be wrong. I'm usually not.
No.
What's up?
So the Heat-Hawks game was supposed to start by the time that we recorded this. Suspicious package outside, so they delayed it.
A suspicious package outside the Heat and Hawks game. What do you think's in it?
You're an idiot.
Want to take a guess?
What else? What else we got top of mind? Tomorrow we'll be back with a special show for you guys.
Think maybe it's like Trae Young's hair products?
SGC submissions. Some of you guys have already started sending me your cards.
Nice.
What else do we have to make an announcement?
Listen, guys, PWCC. Tomorrow we will be doing a segment in our episode of the PWCC weekly auction. We'll spend some time. That auction ends on Sunday night. We'll look at some cards that look like they, potentially could be bargains. Kind of highlight some of the auctions that are in their weekly auction. There's some pretty amazing stuff, not just in the premiere, but in the weekly auction stuff. So take a look at that. They run it with, the extended bidding that actually makes sense. And for a weekly auction, there's some really nice cards in there. And we'll go through a few of them. And spend some time on that. And anybody has any questions on that, send us a message. We're now paying more attention to the old weekly auction at PWCC. We got that. Let's see what else.
Tons of comments both ways on the Investacard episode.
What was some? Give me one of each way.
I'm gonna pull it up.
One of each way. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious about that. I thought, listen, I met Eddie for a couple minutes. You could tell he's a showman, and I should have talked about this on the episode. But Cage doesn't really drink that much, right? So Cage can be under control. Cage had the microphone at Hakkasan, and I was, introducing Paul Pierce, and, I was introducing the UFC break, and I was moderating. And Eddie tried to convince me to give him the microphone so that he could get up there and talk about Investacard and be Eddie is live and the whole deal. And Eddie did not get the microphone. Because I want to be invited back, Eddie. so you never know what's going to happen, man. You never know what's going to happen.
So here's one. I just did a deal with Eddie. So easy to work with. He's a master at this. Should have done it earlier. Orange Crush said, this is nothing new. There are pawn shops everywhere. Fantastic content and helpful to the hobby. Great questions. What else we got?
Oh, yeah, that's good. I mean, listen, that's
stuff as always, fellas, and great explanation of something I was totally against, and now I'm all ears.
Well, I mean, listen, it's not for everyone. right? I mean, we tried to ask questions, and by the end of it, you ask enough questions, you come up with a use case for it. You come up with some example where it would make sense. And to think about it in a way, listen, you know what's great? When I buy from PWCC, I also sell with PWCC. So I have money on hand, right? I got money in a PWCC account. It sits there, and I can, if I see something in the auction, I know I can pay for it because I just sold something. There's this constant movement and rotation of my cards. Some of them I've never seen. I sold a Michael Jordan card in the last premiere. I never actually had it in my hands. I owned it for 2 years. I never touched the damn thing, which, by the way, is a very funny, kind of commentary on the hobby and digital and the whole deal. But that's an episode for another day, right? But I never actually touched the card, and it's sold, and now I have money there, right? But not everybody rotates their cards like that. Not everybody has that kind of system, right, where there's money being held on hand. And, this is one of those things that can provide instant liquidity for you to make a deal. It's not for everyone. I'm not telling you guys to go sell your good card to Eddie so you can go buy, a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander Silver at a show. That's not the play. But, if you need some liquidity to go buy a box that you can break on whatnot later that day and make 30% on it, do it. Because then you can pay it right back. You know what I mean? You get your card back and everything's done. Or you make it 30%, you only got to pay 15.
I go a different way. The Bible says, "Oh man, nothing," and that's the portion of my life that I'm trying to get to is, "Oh no, man, nothing. I have no debt, no nothing. Student loans is the last thing I got." So
nice, man. So you owe nobody nothing.
It's not a good feeling.
I hate debt. I definitely do. I'm with you on that. But if you know you're ahead already, smart people use money lent at a rate that they know they can make more than. It's like real estate magnates and the whole 9 yards, right? I mean, people use the assets that they own to go out and use that money and the equity they have in it to go and buy other assets. It's not unheard of. Anyway, it was a good episode with InvestorCard, I believe. You know what it is? Like I love what you say about us being the sports card radio. We're the radio of the sports card industry, right? We are basically we're here every day. And we get to talk about the sports that happened yesterday. We get to talk about the sports that happened, the day before. We can talk about what's happening this week. We can talk about Sunday's auction on Saturday, right? Nobody else is able to do that. Nobody. People have weekly shows, monthly shows. People have shows that they just put out whenever they want or willy-nilly, right? And I believe it also allows us to kind of help our partners, our business partners, the people who sponsor us, the people who, we partner with for the show, to give them, more bang for their buck, let's say, right? Because, our audience is here, right? But you know what else we're able to do? And this is because of our audience, right? You guys love that we do this. At least I hope you do. We bring on guests and ask them questions that nobody else is asking them. People love Eddie, and people love that he's a showman and that he'll come on and say, "We are live." But now we asked about the business. We got into the nitty-gritty of it, and Eddie showed that he's a legit businessman. He knows what he's talking about. He answered every single question, didn't shy away from any of them. And you leave thinking, okay, I can see where this would work. We spent 35 minutes talking to Probstein about shilling. Who the hell does that?
It wouldn't have been me.
So there you go. But I love it, and I love that we have the ability to do that. We have the platform to do it. And that's because of you guys, Luca Nation. So our reward to you is Andrew. He's putting on the white gloves. He's gonna be like a mime. You're gonna have the white face paint, and he's gonna do the gloves. Let's do like this. White glove. The
reward
service.
Is boop, boop, a variety of content, right?
No, it's white glove service.
It's digital cards. It's guests no one else gets. It's daily shows. And if it's not for you on that day, the amazing thing is there's other stuff for you to go back and listen to. I think there's a lot of gold in the early day episodes. I really do. I think there's a lot of gold in some of the early day guest episodes as well. So I think it's kind of interesting, and it's helped me a lot as well. Friday night.
I wish I would have listened more to David Peck about the wrestling cards a couple times we had him on. Now wrestling exploding. $10,000, $8,000 for an Andre the Giant card, $9,000 for the Rock.
Is that right? I
Prism.
don't follow that market. It's been ever since the
absurd.
WWE Prism.
The Prism Golds, especially, the ones because they're out of 10, so there's not that many of them. Those cards are flying thousands of dollars for these gold cards. It's crazy.
I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see it lasting. The old stuff, yes, but like
you know what it is. There's a
who cares
rabid
about it. Andre the Giant Prism Gold.
There's a rabid fan base, man, and there's just and especially with like Andre, it brings a certain different thing in. You know, Prism has always had that whole like throwback, you know. But in basketball, people don't care about the George Mikan black and white card in Prism, right? They don't buy that. They don't care, right? But the wrestling guys, there's huge Andre fans, and there's not a lot of Andre cards. You know, you got the 82 card. You know, there's some other cards. There's a whole bunch of them out there. But these guys, they've been collecting the vintage cards. This is now an Andre to add to the collection. Hulk Hogan to add to the collection. Another Rock to add to the collection. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And there are guys who love specific people. Like, I used to watch wrestling a long time ago. I'm not a huge wrestling guy, guys. I'm not going to hold myself out as a wrestling expert. But if that's something you're interested in, I'll learn it. But I remember Stacy Keibler. I remember I pulled the card out, and I was like, I remember her. And people are paying a lot of money.
With the stars.
People are paying money for Stacy Keibler cards. I mean, you know, Prism, it's not for everybody, right? But I think the wrestling audience likes the throwback part of it. They like the mix of the new guys and the wrestling superstars and the shiny, and it's a new thing. And clearly there are more than 10 Andre the Giant super collectors. There are more than 10 Hulk Hogan. And people have been trained now by watching basketball cards. The Prism Gold is the thing. There's only 10 of them. Nobody wants the gold wave. Nobody wants the wave. They want the gold. So, you know, people, I'm telling you, man, go look at some of the prices on this stuff. Not the Color Blast so much. They're not numbered, so you don't know how many of them are out there. Color Blast. Be careful, Kaboom. Color Blasts. No? Anyway, we got wrestling. We got our guests. Give me some predictions. Will there be any upsets in the first round of the NBA playoffs? No?
I think the Mavs over the Jazz is an upset, but I think it's the beginning of the end for this Jazz team. They had one offensive rebound all game.
I agree. I think that's going to happen. So what you told me before the show about you thinking the Pelicans are going to, take out the Suns, you don't want to stick to that?
No, I don't think the Pelicans are going to take out the Suns at all. I think the Suns are a very good team. I think the Suns are overshadowed by Chris Paul and Booker, but Ayton and Bridges are incredible players. Ayton is very good, man. I don't think he's elite.
Right. Well, he's a big man. He'll definitely give problems to Golden State. There's less problems without
I don't
Booker.
know another big man that plays like him right now, man. I mean, Embiid's obviously better. But that kid, he's got a good jump hook. He's got a good 15, 16 footer. He's tough. He's a good defender. I think Ayton's a very good player. Very good player.
Yeah. Listen, that team, full strength. Interesting team. No Booker. I think Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Ayton, I think they're smart enough. I think they're well coached. I think they're smart enough to figure out, how to get by for a while there. And I don't think the Pelicans really have enough. But I would love to see Zion in the second round dunking on Luka.
You think are they going? Zion's out for the season though, no?
Yeah, second round. If they get through, you don't think maybe it's like, hey, guys, it's time. Unleash the beast. Let me dunk on Dallas. No? Could be interesting. Could be a hell of a storyline. Would be good for cards.
The only upside is Nets over Celtics, but it could be a 4-0 sweep. Like every game's so close and contentious, but it could be a 4-0 sweep.
So here's where I think Tatum loses it, right? If this was a true star, and there aren't many stars in the league now, killer instinct stars, Kobe. If this was Kobe's team, they would go out there and win game 3. Or he would be in there talking to those guys about how it's just like game 1 now, just being up 2-0 is nothing. We need to go to Brooklyn. We need to keep our foot on their throats. I don't see Tatum doing that. I see them saying, wow, we're up 2-0. Let's play our game.
Dude, I wouldn't I think they blow him out. I think Tatum has a 50 spot.
Oh, get out of here. Well, listen, the Nets don't have any defense.
They have
The Nets
no
play
defense.
no defense. I was right, though, when I said they needed somebody else to step up. I said Brown might step. Brown had like a 20-point game. But obviously somebody had to step up because KD and Kyrie weren't doing anything. So, pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. We'll see. That's a fun series. I will give the NBA this. They've had some really fun series. They've had some fun stuff set up. The Dallas-Denver series is, might be a sweep, but it's been a fun series. The Nets first round against the Celtics, that's a fun series for a 7-2. That's a fun series.
I think it's a symptom. The cause is that there's so much good talent in the NBA right now.
Let me ask you a question.
This is the most talented I've ever seen in the NBA.
You were enjoying the playoffs, and you're enjoying the level of talent in it. So is it fair to say that you don't miss LeBron? Do the playoffs lose something with no LeBron in it?
No, they're so much better.
Expand on that a little.
He's such an egotistical clown, man. I got to tell you, everything is always about LeBron. Like, you guys are going to know I'm going to go off. Because this is where I get, like, blinders.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
But, like, look at the Curry commercials, man. In the Curry commercials, he's willing to play, like, the fool. If you guys saw the commercial with him and Shaq, like, he dresses up actually as a mime.
Self-deprecating.
I like that from a superstar. I do. So because Cage asked me the question, I'm going to give you my opinion. LeBron always takes himself so serious, and I understand why he does it.
He's so serious.
Came into the league 18, the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's never messed up, not even an inch. He's always been told how great he is. I get it, but I much prefer the hilarious, self-deprecating Curry humor to LeBron, pound your chest. It's all about me. Ego, ego, ego. Everywhere I go, I leave worse. Not my vibe.
All right. So you don't miss them. The NBA playoffs are allowed to proceed according to, I like it cut G, Andrew Goldberg.
And to add to that,
I
never liked his brand of basketball. I've never liked holding the ball in your hands, juke stepping for like 20 seconds of the shot clock, then like throwing a hard cross-court pass. Like, I've never liked this brand of basketball. Other people do, and I respect that. I like ball movement.
How about a team we haven't talked about that is just playing dominant ball, but maybe it's because the team they're playing against sucks? Do the Heat have a chance?
I mean, I think it depends on matchups, man. I really do believe it's who they match up with. I think you said it. There's so much parity. You don't know who's going to get through in either conference, right? And I think that's because who matches up with who is healthy when they match up, right? Because every defense has a weakness. So it just depends on that. I don't think the Heat.
They don't match up against Giannis. It's another team that, Giannis would just feast on the inside. I like their defense. The Swarm.
Giannis hates them too. Remember,
I know.
Him out of the bubble.
Because they make him work, and they make the whole team work, and they're going to have to lean on Giannis because they are just, they're everywhere. They fly around. Your friend Lloyd Christmas looks really good off the bench. Tyler Hero.
I'm worried if they could score enough. Like Jimmy Butler scoring 45-point looks good, but that's against the stupid Hawks. Like they're offensively limited. I know you got to bounce and roller skate. I hope you do some damage.
I'm a skater boy. I'm gonna go roller skating, glow skating.
He said, "See you later, boy."
Glow skating.
Good enough. Love you,
keep going, Avril. Come on.
Dude, that came out when I was in school.
So let me hear it. Sing a couple bars for us.
What do you mean? She was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." She wasn't good enough for her.
Look at him go!
So thank you all for listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo Mai. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is. 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com. or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luca Nation.